Oh my God. I'm stressed. I'm stressed. I'm stressed. I'm stressed. I'm so stressed right now. We've got 3 minutes left, 1-0 down, and Everton do not look like giving us a goal. That's for sure. Yeah, this hasn't been a good one, guys. Of course, I'm joining you with 3 minutes to go here. Anything could happen in the last 3 minutes. We could score an equaliser. And as usual, I'm going live. Well, I'm hitting record to see if I can maybe capture that moment live and have it in my video as content I can come back and watch when I'm older. But guys, it's looking unlikely. Everton have deserved this. They really have. They've been the better team. It is as simple as that. Well, they've been the better team today in terms of physicality, first ball. They've made, I would argue, better chances. They haven't played the ball around as nicely as Arsenal. They haven't dominated possession as much as Arsenal, but it literally just, it doesn't matter. Everton deserve to win this game. So I'm anticipating in the next, 2 minutes that we've got, it's not going to change. It's funny, really, because this is the first time this season that I genuinely felt like we're not in control of our comeback. A few times that we've been behind this season, I've always thought, it's all right. I think we'll still come back. But for some reason, whenever we go to Goodison, and just because of today's performance, I felt like it wasn't going to happen. And there's a huge angry mob fight going on right now. I don't even know what happened. It looks like Zinchenko has said something to one of the Everton players when he's down, wasting time. You can't act as if we haven't done this. And Xhaka is the one that's actually trying to calm things down. Boy, how things have changed. Zinchenko's just spun him. Oh, do you know what? Is it Mopai? Him and Zinchenko have had a little bit of an argy-bargy, and he's actually pulled Zinchenko down and pretended to be pushed out. I don't know. So, yeah, the first time I felt like we weren't going to come back. We've still got a minute. The comeback isn't going to happen. And I think that just says a lot about the performance today. That typically Arsenal this season have the ability to come back in games, no matter what the opposition is, no matter the situation. We've got that kind of fighting spirit that we're able to get back and do something. But today, it just hasn't been our day. It's cursed here, isn't it? Goodison Park is cursed. I don't think we've won here in 4 seasons. Our last 5 results here have all been draws and losses. It's just, it's a difficult place for us to come. And do you know what? That new manager bounce, it's real. It's 100% real. Whenever a team get a new manager, when they've been struggling, it's like a huge morale boost, isn't it? All of the players are fighting for their positions, trying to make sure the new manager's happy. And I think we've seen that again today. Sean Dyche has got a huge job on his hands, but he's done a great job today. And it's a good start for him, isn't it? We'll talk about, the team, the lineup, the players individually in a moment. We're just coming towards the end of the game here. We've got maybe another 30 seconds added on. And Everton have got a free kick in their own half. So they're just going to boot it down. And we're going to get our second loss of the season. And, whilst we're still top of the table, we are still going to be 2 points clear, even if City win against Tottenham tomorrow. I believe, is that the case? We'll have to double check the table in a minute. Basically, though, we're not going to lose first place because of this. But what it means is, I think going into this really tough run at the end of the season, we're going to struggle with this hurting our mentality, our morale. We did lose to a bottom 3 side. And there it is. It is game over. Everton win. And that's their first win in God knows how long. Fair play to them, Fair play to them. Okay, let's just jump into the lineups. Let me just bring it up. We'll go on FOTMob as usual. So we went with the same lineup for a 5th game in a row, I believe it was. And that's the first time we've done that in 8 seasons, I think I read. So, a consistent lineup. Let me just turn off the game. It's going to distract me. I'm down now. I'm down. I hate this feeling. It's ruined my weekend. It was my birthday yesterday. Why'd I have to ruin it, Arsenal? There's nothing wrong with the lineup. It just didn't show up today. I thought Martinelli was really poor. Couldn't get himself in the game at all. Saka got man of the match. I'm not quite sure how. Ødegaard wasn't allowed any space. He wasn't able to dictate the play like he likes to. Ben White, I thought, actually was pretty abysmal at times. He's normally such a consistent performer, but the last 2 or 3 games, I actually feel like maybe Tomiyasu deserves a shout, but I'm not going to rip on Ben White because he's been one of our best players this season in a position that's not familiar to him, realistically. But today, he gave away the ball a lot. And I don't know, is it just me or it looks like he's not fit? I don't know. It's a weird one. It really is. Partey coming off after 59 minutes. I think it's obvious that there was some fitness issues before this game. We weren't sure if he was even going to start. 60 minutes ain't bad. And I thought Jorginho came on and it was fine. But one position that I think, look, some of the ratings have changed. There you go. Tarkowski's got man of the match. Let me give this a refresh now that the game's actually over. Yeah, Tarkowski has been given man of the match here. I thought Nketiah really struggled today. It's what's the word I'm looking for? What Nketiah isn't is imposing. He's not a big, strong, powerful, tall striker. He's pretty powerful, and I wouldn't say he's not strong, but for his size, he's not the most imposing. Up against Cody and Tarkowski, that was always going to be a tough one because they're so physical, they're so experienced, their positioning is elite, really. And Nketiah really struggled today, and I mean really struggled. He could not have any impact whatsoever, and I think, I made a note of it here. Nketiah, I think, needs a high line. He needs to be able to get in behind, use that pace that he's got, and the fact that he is a bit more of a slender player. If you look at most of the top strikers in football at the moment, quite a lot of them are relatively big, 6 foot plus. You look at Haaland, for example, being 6'4", and you've got your Lewandowskis and your Kanes. They're all kind of 6 foot. They're quite strong and broad shoulders. And you look at Nketiah, and I know he's still relatively young and he could bulk up even more, but I don't think he's ever going to be that kind of striker. He's an Ian Wright, and that's high praise. I should just say he's not quite on that level, but he is a fox in the box. He's a Jamie Vardy type striker. You need to get him in the box and, hope that he's in the right place at the right time, which he often is. Or you need the opposition defence to play really high so you can get in behind with your wingers and that's not what Everton do. They're very, very good at sitting deep, getting 10 men behind the ball, and, such a physical midfield. Onana, Idrissa Gueye, and Doucouré were phenomenal today. They really were. Let's talk about the goal, because what minute was that? 69 or something like that? 60th minute. So we played half an hour, 1-0 down. I don't like that Tarkowski, who has nodded home from a corner, guess who's marking him? Martin Ødegaard. Now, when we've got Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel, even Zinchenko I would put up against him over Ødegaard, Partey, Xhaka, why are we leaving Tarkowski, their big centre-back that's, clearly an issue in the box? Why are we leaving him to be marked by Ødegaard, one of our, smaller players? Now, I guess you could argue they've got Onana, Calvert-Lewin, Doucouré. They've got some big players in there as well, but that just stunk for me. I didn't like that. And a quick word on Everton in general. Individual players-wise, and with Dyche coming in, they're going to be fine. They're not gelling as a team completely perfectly yet. It's only been, 1 week since Dyche came in? But I'm telling you, just because of the individual qualities in this team, they will be absolutely fine. They will survive. This is a great start for them. They've just beaten top of the league Arsenal that have only lost 1 game this season. It's pretty remarkable. But stats-wise, we've dominated the game, like I said. We played some really nice interchanges around the box, but we weren't able to actually penetrate and get shots away. We've had 0 big chances in this game, 15 shots. I mean, that's poor. That's the story today. Everton, with that new manager bounce against a team that never show up at Goodison. Early kickoffs seem to be a curse for us as well. And Arsenal didn't show up. We literally just did not show up. And we've lost to a headed goal from a corner. It is as simple as that, really. It's frustrating. It really is. But if we go ahead and take a look at the table, it's not the absolute end of the world. For example, Man City have lost 3 times. We're 5 points behind them. Sorry, 5 points ahead of Man City. And we've both played the same amount of games. So even if City win tomorrow, they've got Tottenham. I'm sure they will win that game. It'll be a 2-point gap and we have a game in hand. And we've got Brentford at home. Now, the Emirates is a fortress. This season, we look very good at home. And we haven't been bad away from home. But of course, our form at home is what we're going to rely on, I think, the most. But we should be beating Brentford. But the big one is obviously going to be the game after that. It's Emirates against City. I mean, this loss against Everton has made this an absolute must-win. I was thinking, win against Everton, win against Brentford. We could potentially get away with a draw against City and still look in a very healthy position. But now we're going to be looking for Tottenham to get something in their game tomorrow with City and a win against City at the Emirates, which, do you know what? It wouldn't surprise me if we bounce back and do that. I have every confidence that we will win our next 2 games at the Emirates. Okay, I really, really hope so. But going back to what I've said about us being title favourites, and obviously I've still been very realistic, let's say, and I've just been thinking to myself, it's fine, just wait a little bit longer. It's too early to say. I did say we need to win Everton, we need to win Brentford, we need to get a result against City, and that's not going to happen now. We haven't beaten Everton away, and we haven't beaten Brentford at home yet. That could still be a really tricky fixture. And looking beyond City, Villa away, Leicester away, those are tough games. So it's still early days. We've now gone into the second half of the season and we've started it in a terrible way with that loss. We have to bounce back.